is key. And I want to segue off of what Pastor Miller talked about this morning. I want to talk about the sifting of Satan. The sifting of Satan. In the text, by the time you get to Luke, and when you began to read Luke, the interesting dynamics of the text is that when we get to this scriptural neighborhood, and Luke is writing, Jesus Christ was already now getting ready to be crucified. Mm-hmm. He had made his approach into ministry after sitting somewhat dormant and had periods whereby people could see that this Christ child of Nazareth wasn't some regular child. In his inception, from his birth, he had an unusual event to occur at his birth. They knew he wasn't normal. When he was in the temple teaching the doctors and the lawyers without sitting at the feet of Gamaliel, the great thinker, without having studied in some high school of degrees, and yet he was teaching them knowledge to which only God could give. They knew he wasn't normal. When they saw him walk on the water and calm the raging sea, they knew he wasn't normal. When he gave sight to the blind and healed them, when he traveled by places like the pool of Bethesda and healed that man for 38 years. When he walked down the street and a woman crawled out to him, and as the woman crawled out to him, she touches the hem of his garment, and immediately the blood that was flowing all dried up. They knew he wasn't normal. When he could spit on the ground and take a mud pie and put it in a man's eyes and tell him to go wash in the Jordan and you'll see again, they knew he wasn't normal. When he could sit on the mountain and preach half the day and preach with power and fervor and glory and understanding, with gentleness of the kingdom, and teach the people, and yet they were hungry. And he did not rain down bread from heaven, but he took a little boy's lunch. You know the story, how he took 2 fish and 5 barley loaves, and the Bible said, and he fed 5,000 without including the women and the children. You knew he wasn't normal. When he could wait 3 days after hearing about his friend Lazarus being dead, and how he could adorn where he was and slow walk back after the funeral procession was over and Lazarus had been in the grave and he had been now, and the Bible said, stinking in the grave. They knew he wasn't normal when he stood outside the grave without going in, without waving some magical, mystical wand, without saying some incantation, just speaking through the Spirit to which God had given unto him and said, Lazarus, come forward. They knew he wasn't normal. When he had himself been in the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights and was hungry and was thirsty, but yet in his hunger and his thirst, he did not yield to the temptations of Satan. They knew he wasn't normal. And likewise his disciples who followed him and trusted him, left their businesses. Some were doctors, some were fishermen, some were accountants, left their business, closed up shop, and followed a man. They knew he wasn't normal. And here in the text, Jesus had displayed to them in chapter 21 that he was getting ready to die. And he was about his father's business because he had come to mend what was broken through mankind. By the time you get to chapter 22, this morning's text, it is Jesus who is speaking to Simon, who will later be known as Peter. He's not speaking angrily. He's not speaking in contention. He's not upset with Simon. He's not being mean or hostile. But when you notice the tone and the tenor of the text, it is Jesus who is speaking to him quite softly. And he says to him, Simon, Simon. In the Greek, when you understand just those two words in the Greek, the way he is using, the writer Luke is using these words, Jesus is almost in pity for him, saying, Simon, you don't understand when I leave here who you up against. He says, Simon, I know you think you know it all. Because you've been walking with me and you've seen me do some miracles. And I did tell you, greater works will you be able to do after I'm gone than I have done. But Simon, you don't understand that there's a penalty and a cost to be where I am. He says, Simon. It's kind of like your children sometimes when you're trying to teach them something and they know more than you know. Come on, talk back with the parents. And you're trying to display to them, okay, this is life, and this is how things happen, and this is how things work. And the first thing they say, I know. Yeah. It is Peter who is saying the same thing to Jesus. I know, I see you walk on water. I can do that, I did it. I saw you feed 5,000. I know. And Jesus said, no, you don't know. He says, Simon. Oh, Simon. Notice what he says to him. He says, Satan has desired to have you. All right, let me put this in. That's the King James Version. The original Greek text says, Simon, Satan has asked permission to mess with you. Yeah. All right, wait a minute. It breathes something within the text. The text says that Satan has to ask God permission to deal with Simon Peter. Wait a minute. Some of y'all just listen. Satan can't mess with you until he asks permission from God to mess with you.
That's right.
It's the same story that Job had. He could not come into Job's life and take control over Job's life and Job's property and Job's stuff. And God told Job, he told Satan, he said, listen, when it comes to Job, you can mess with everything he has, but you can't touch his soul because his soul belonged to me. He had to ask for permission then, and now he's asking for permission again. He comes and he says, Satan has desired me. Now, I think you might all know that Satan don't desire who he already has.
Amen.
There would be no need to desire something you already have because it's already in your possession. And Satan only desires those who are not in his possession. He has asked God, can I mess with them? Can I trick them? Can I do something that will turn them against you? And it's up to God to give authority to Satan to do what he's doing in your life. And so I want to tell you that if it's happening in your life, it's not a surprise to God.
Yes, sir.
Might be a surprise to you, but it's not a surprise to God. It's not by accident or osmosis that things are happening in your life the way they're happening. God has a strategic plan in mind for things to happen. Notice what he said. He said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan desires to have you, that he may sift you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Wait a minute. He wants to sift you.
That's right.
I told you it wasn't a long message. It's a simple message. He says, Satan, 1-1, he has to ask permission before he messes with you. Everybody got that?
Yes, sir.
But then, number 2, his ultimate desire is that he may sift you.
All right.
What is sifting? Sifting is to vigorously shake to the point of detachment. All right, let me say that again. Sifting, here's the definition. Sifting is to vigorously shake to the point of separation or detachment.
All right.
Satan wants to shift Peter to the point of separation and detachment.
Yeah.
Some of you that were raised by your older people, and back then, years ago, they had what they called, when they got ready to make cakes, a sifter.
That's right.
Come on, talk back with me. Let's go back for a minute. All right, the sifter was this a metal kind of a can looking thing. And it had a handle on the side and a holder where you could hold it. And you would set over the bowl and they would pour flour in, and you would sift that flour before they make the cake, and there would be some lumps left underneath in the bottom of that little strain or that little holder, and you would throw that away. But it separated the good flour from the bad flour. And sometimes you would get wheat, and when you would get meal, sometimes that meal wouldn't be quite right and it'd be lumpy. And so you'd have meal that sometimes would have boll weevils in it. And so you would pour that meal, come on, talk back with me. You would pour that meal into that sifter, and grandmother would have you sift it out to make sure you don't get no boll weevils and things into your food. And so she would take it at the bottom of it when you got through sifting. It separated the wheat. But there's something else about that, because when you read Psalms 1, when he gets down to Psalm 1, you know when he talks about blessed is the man walks not in counsel of God, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scum, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law he meditates both day and night, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, to bring forth his fruit in his season. His leaves also shall not wither, and whatsoever he do shall prosper. But the ungodly not so, but they are like the chaff which the wind drives away.
Yes.
It's the sifting that separates the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
And Satan says, Lord, grant me permission to put this child of yours in my sifter.
Yeah.
And let me sift them so I can separate them from you.
Right.
That's Satan's goal. He wanted to shake Peter's faith so hard in hopes that he could blow away Jesus out of his life like the wheat and the chaff would blow away. How does Satan sift us? Satan sifts us, number one, through fear.
Yeah.
He can have you so afraid something is going to happen that's not even going to happen. Anybody ever felt like that?
Yes.
You prayed, but you were unsure about what it was that God was doing or what he was capable of doing, and you were at a point in your life that you were all fearful, you were all afraid. Satan used the spirit of fear to come into your life, to disrupt your life to the point that you were sitting there and you were wondering, Lord, what am I going to do next? And God says, you don't have to wonder what I'm going to do next, because I've already prepared your next.
Yes. Yeah.
Touch somebody and say, God already prepared your next.
God already prepared.
You might be wondering about it, but your next is already prepared. God is just waiting to build you up so he can marry the two. Marry you to your blessing. Marry you to the next step or stage in your life. And so Satan wants to make you feel fearful because we always fear the unknown.
Yes, sir.
He uses fear to sift you. But not only does he use fear to sift you, he used failure to sift you, because when we fail at things, many times Satan tries to make you become your failure. But I stopped by to tell you this morning, you're not your mistake, you're not your failure, and just because you failed, you're sitting in a room full of people who have failed at something. None of us have succeeded at everything. All of us have failed at something, and the Bible makes it clear that all have sinned, watch this, and come short of the glory of God. All of us have failed at something. Don't you fool yourself. I don't care if they preach in pulpits or they stand on back doors or they're deacons in the church or they're mothers that sit on pews. I don't care if they have gray hair or black hair. All of us have sinned. All of us have made mistakes. All of us have failures. But just because you fail, you don't have to become your failure.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Satan has a way of always bringing up what you failed at. Isn't it interesting that Satan will never show you what you were victorious in?
Right.
Satan never introduces you and says, hey, you beat me that time. Satan will never brag with you about the times that you were successful, but he will always condemn you at the moments that you were weak. You remember you can't make it. God ain't coming to see about you. And if you listen to all of your failures, it's Satan sifting you. And he's sifting you with an objective. Not only does he use fear, not only does he use failure, but he uses the lack of faith. For faith, the Bible said, it's the substance of things that are hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Satan will use your lack of faith to sift you. So you pray, but you don't believe God can do it. You read your Bible, but you don't trust God to fix it. You sit in churches on pews and you hear preachers preach, but you don't believe that word is for you. It's for somebody else on your road. He sure did preach to them today. Come on, talk back with me, somebody. It was a word for them, but it's never a word for you until you get into distress, and you can't beat somebody calling on God when they're in distress, when they're in trouble, when they're in pain, when they're in peril. That's when we pray our best prayers. And so he says, Satan says, I'm using all of these attributes, I'm using all of these things so that I may sift you as wheat. Because again, the ultimate goal is to separate you from your destiny, to separate you from your purpose, to separate you from your potential. Because the one thing that Satan doesn't want is for you to become everything it is that God wants you to be. And so if Satan can stop you at a limited level, if he can stop you at the elementary level, where you'll never reach the collegiate level, Satan says, I beat you because you did not reach your full potential. You did not reach your destiny. And Satan's whole objective is to keep you stagnated and stale and stuck. And if he can keep you stagnated and stale and stuck, he can cause you to stink. And the Bible said that's the same thing in Revelation that happened to the church at Laodicea. They were stale, they were stuck, and started to stink. And the Bible said God told them, you make me sick and I spew you out of my mouth, because Satan wants you not to reach your full potential.
Yeah, that's right.
They want you to become, because when you become all you can be to God and all you can be to the kingdom, you become a threat to him.
Amen.
And shamefully, many of us don't even threaten Satan.
Yes.
And we don't threaten him because we're not living up to our full potential. You see, the thing that I notice about Jesus is that he understands our weakness. Somebody said, Jesus know I'm weak.
Jesus know I'm weak.
He understands, as Martin Rayner says, that we have weak hands and feeble knees. He understands that we are limited creatures, that we have limited thinking and limited mindset and limited approaches. He understands that we have weaknesses, that we are human beings, and that we must rely on him to be our strength. And the more we rely on him, he gives us the joy we need in our life to be able to make it the next step, because the Bible did say, watch this, that the joy of the Lord is my strength. And so outside of him, I'm weak. Outside of him, I'm morbid. Outside of him, I face darkness. Outside of him, I'm a nobody. Outside of him, I'm a filthy rag. Outside of him, I'm dirt and dust. But with him, all things are possible. So when I have God, I become everything. When I have myself, I become nothing.
Yes, that's right.
Yes, sir.
So Jesus, here it is, he understands my weakness. I told you secondly that Satan has to ask permission if he's going to shift you. If he's going to shift you, he's got to ask that permission from God before he even approaches. It proves something. It proves that Jesus reigns over the Christian's life.
Yes.
sir.
Yes, Lord.
That ought to be good news to somebody.
Yes.
That whatever it is you face in that Jesus reigns. You have, here it is, divine protection.
Yes.
That Satan can only mess with you for a season.
Yes, Lord.
It's temporary. It won't last. Trouble. I used to hear people singing. We used to sing it in the old church. Trouble won't last always. And it took a while to understand what that means. That means that if you're going through a season of trying, you won't go through one season of trying into another season of trying. But God gives you some breaks in there just so you'll know He's there. Just so you'll know He's still God. And so when you cry today, He'll make you smile tomorrow. When you smile tomorrow, you might have to cry the next day, but you won't go from one rainy season to the next rainy season, because we have God's divine protection.
Thank you, Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord.
He reigns
Yes.
over our life.
Yes, Lord.
And I don't know if that's good news to anybody in here.
Yes, it
It's
is.
good news to at least three of us,
Yes,
that
it is.
God reigns over our life. You don't even need to reign over your own life.
Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 10, he said, Lord, I'm afraid to trust myself.
Yes.
Because Jeremiah said, my past record of who I was makes me afraid of me. He said, Lord, I'm afraid of me. Don't let me reign over myself. You reign over me.
Yep.
Because God, if you created everything there is to create, if you formed everything there is to form, then you know all about me. You know the secret things about me. You know things about me I don't know about myself. So Lord, today you reign over my life.
Yes, Lord.
You see, when the Lord reigns over people, you can't do what you want to do.
That's right.
Come on, talk back with me.
That's right.
Yeah.
When the Lord, you can tell if the Lord is reigning over somebody, because if you can just say whatever you want to say, if you can just do whatever you want to do, if you can just talk to people any kind of old way, if you can just gossip and lie and cheat and steal, come on, talk back to me somebody. If you can just do whatever you want to do in your life, it is a sign that the Lord isn't reigning in your life.
That's right. That's right.
Matthew talks about two houses. Matthew chapter 24 he talks about two houses. He said one house built on the sand, the other one built on the rock. The rains descended and the floods came and the winds blew and beat upon that house. And the one that built upon the sand was washed away, but the one that was built upon the rock remained after the storm had passed away. What are you saying? The significance of that in relation to the text is that when we are built upon the rock, which is Jesus Christ, as long as you're building on sand, when storms come, it's going to wash you away. It's going to take you under. You'll always be worried. You'll always be confused. You'll always be on liberals and tranquilizers. You'll always have restless nights and sleepless days. You'll always be in trouble and peril and pain as long as Christ is not your rock. But when Christ is, and it's greater than a storm, because I know somebody that can speak to my storm and say, peace.
Be still.
Be still.
Be still.
Yes,
Yes,
Lord.
sir.
Thank
Yes,
you,
sir.
Jesus.
It's when you understand, here it is,
Ooh.
who you building on.
Yes.
My question to you today, when you came in here, who you building on?
Yes, Lord.
Because if you're building on self, if you're building on stuff, cars, clothes, cash, if you're building on looks, all of that stuff will fade away.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Lord.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Grandma. Grandma Adelaide dropped it in the spirit. She want me to tell you, only what you do for Christ.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's right.
You may build cathedrals great and tall. You may conquer the world large and small. But only
What you do for Christ.
what you do for Christ
Amen.
is going to last.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
You see, when you get to the book of Revelation, around chapter 13 of Revelation, one of the things that it teaches also in Revelation chapter 20 and also in Revelation chapter 22, it says the same thing. It says that when you get to the end, you're going to be tried and weighed in balance. What you did for the kingdom and what you did for yourself. And if what you did for yourself outweighs what you did for the kingdom, you're going to have to get on the side with the goats that are going to hell. And if what you did for the kingdom outweighs what you did for yourself, then you're going to be on the side of the sheep. And those are the ones that are going on to eternal life. Those are the ones that John looks on out in the Patmos and he saw 144,000. And then he looked and saw another number. The Bible said that no man could number. And when he saw that second number, somebody asked John, who are they? He said, these are they who have washed their robes in the blood of the Lamb. These are they who have went through trials and tribulation. When John looked and saw that second number, he didn't see just those 12 tribes of Israel, but he saw you and he saw me in that second number marching up the King's Highway. And so you have to determine in your life on these asphalt streets before you can get to the golden streets is whose side are you really on?
Amen. That's right. It's tight, but it's right.
Sifting. I'm almost done. The sifting.
Free, man.
Oh, the Saint Simon. Oh, Simon. I think you know it all. I think you think you got it made.
Yes.
But Satan is after you.
Yeah.
And he has asked me permission to sift you like wheat. Separate you from what it is you cherish. So when he sifts you, he sifts your job. Because that's what you cherish.
Yeah.
He sifts your children.
All right.
He sifts your money.
Mm-hmm.
He sifts your career.
Yeah.
He sifts your health. Because God allowed him to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that God is capricious or he's unfair. He's some kind of God that somehow sets and gets his kicks by watching us suffer. But Satan's objective in the process is to strip God away from your life.
Yes.
God's objective in the process is that you might stand and be able to stand and withstand. For the scripture says, and having done all to stand. Yes. Do I got any Bible readers in here?
Yeah.
Stand therefore. You see, the thing that you got to understand is that even when Satan is sifting us, God never leaves the sifting.
Right. That's right.
Oh, that's a good
That's
news.
right.
Yeah.
It would be one thing if God said, go on and sift them, and then God walked away and went and sat back on the throne and turned his back. But God said, I don't trust you, Satan. I got a right not to trust you.
Right.
Remember, I made you beautiful.
Yes.
I made you to be able to sing. I put you in charge of the angelic angels. Remember, Satan, I gave you a lofty position. I don't trust you because when I had to kick you out of heaven, there were some other angels that went down with you because you had your own trust you'll do the right thing with that treasure. So while you're sifting them, I'm going to watch. And if you get out of line, I'm going to be right there to step in before anything can happen to it. And that's good news.
Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Oh, God said, I got to let him sift you, because in him sifting you, it's going to bring you closer to me. Because now you got to pray. Now you got to trust me. Now you got to focus. Now it's going to increase your faith. So let him sift you. But say, Lord, don't leave me while the sifting is going on.
Yes.
If you got to take it, take it. God, I know even in the taking of something out of my life, you always add better than what was taken.
Yes.
Let me say that again. When God allows something to be taken out of your life, he never allows what was taken out of your life and replace it with the same thing that was in your life to occupy that space. He always gives you, somebody said, upgrade.
Upgrade. That's right.
He always replaces it with something better.
Yeah.
When I look at the Martin family, how they lost their house that day, and how we sat there and we were traveling back. We were on the road, me and the wife and the family, we were on the road when that incident happened, and how all of their stuff was burned, and how I called and had a chance to talk to Brother Chuck, and I asked him, I said, are you okay? Is there anything you need? And he said, Reverend, he said, I lost everything. Didn't you tell me that? He said, I lost everything. He said, I love this house. He said, I lost that. I lost my car. I lost everything. But God, in that moment, even in that moment of sifting, in that moment of taking away, when you look at them today, they don't even look like what they've been through, because God gave them something. Somebody say better. Somebody say upgrade. And when God does that for you, you can look back and witness to somebody else and say, child, I've been through a whole lot, but for everything I've been through, God keep giving me up.
Upgrade. That's right.
Somebody say upgrade.
Upgrade.
So your prayer ought to be this week, God, I've been shifted a long time. Please give me
Upgrade. Yes.
God, my family has been going through. Give my family up.
An upgrade.
God, my health has been going through, but give my health up.
Upgrade.
God, my wallet is low. I got a lot of bills and a little money, but give my wallet up.
Upgrade. Yes, Lord.
He never leaves the sifting without giving you
An upgrade.
an upgrade.
Yes, yes.
But not only that, Jesus said something to Simon. He said, Simon, Simon, the whole Satan desires to have you, and he may sift you in spirit. Look at verse 32, and I'm close. He says, but I prayed for you. Wait a minute.
Yes.
He said, Simon, Satan gonna sift you. I'm gonna allow him to do that. Satan gonna come at you. I'm gonna allow him to do that. But before he comes and attacks you, he says, Simon, I prayed for you.
Yes.
Listen, it's one thing for mama to pray for you. We were down home a couple of weeks back and seen mama, and before we left, she grabbed our hands and she held my wife's hand, my son's hand, and stuff. We got in a circle. Mom said, let's pray. And she know how to pray.
Oh, she can pray.
Oh, she can pray. I believe every prayer that she prays. And when she got through praying, and mama got through talking to the Lord, she said, y'all can go now. Her prayer sealed it. That's mama's prayer. Grandmama, Ida Mae Garrison. My grandmama used to pray. Before I went to school, she would pray and anoint my head with oil. And when she prayed, she would cry. And she would pray at the same time. And she would cry some more, and she would pray at the same time. Ain't nothing like a grandmother who knows how to pray. I've had strong men get around me and pray. Ooh. And when you got men who know how to pray, like Daddy over there, like Pastor Miller, strong men who know how to pray. When you feel good about when they pray for you. I got a great friend of mine who is from Africa. He's a pastor. And when I was sick in ICU, he showed up that night to pray for me. And Pastor Felix prayed. And when he began to pray, it's like heaven opens up when he prayed. And I said, Lord, I thank you for the prayers of the saints. Because the Bible said, and the prayers of the saints avail
Much.
much.
Mm-hmm.
That's when y'all pray.
Mm-hmm.
But in the text, it's Jesus who's doing the praying. And Jesus says to Simon, he said, before Satan even gets to you, he said, I prayed for you.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I prayed for you that your faith would fail not.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I don't want you to fail in your faith because there's some other disciples that are looking up to you. And if I let you fail, then they may fail. So he says, I'm praying that while you're going through the sifting, that you'll be changed in the process.
Yeah.
He said, and when you're converted.
Mm-hmm.
You see that in the text?
Yeah.
The word converted means to be changed.
Mm-hmm.
It means to be made whole. He said, Peter, Simon, you just operating on half of what you know.
Mm-hmm.
You're just operating in just the knowing part of who I am. He said, but when you really get saved, touch somebody and say, really get saved.
Really get saved.
You know him, but you don't know him.
Yeah.
All right, let me put it back again. Let me put it this way. You have a zeal of God,
Mm-hmm.
but not according to knowledge, for you are ignorant
Yes.
of God's righteousness, and by doing, you've gone to establish your own righteousness and have not submitted yourself to the righteousness of God. He said, you know me, but you don't know me.
That's right.
He said, Simon, when you really know me,
Mm-hmm.
and when you get converted,
Yeah.
he says, then go about strengthening your brother.
Yes.
Go, when you really get changed, go and help change somebody else.
That's right.
That's what he
right.
was saying.
That's right.
Change somebody else's life. He says the sifting is about changing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to make you worse. It's to make you better.
That's right.
It's not to break you. It's to make you.
That's right.
It's not to deny you what you want as much as it is to give you what you need.
Yes.
It's not to curse you, but it's to bless you.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says the sifting becomes a process of a tool that I use for the kingdom's sake, to grow you that you may be able to stand. And during the standing, you will be converted into who it is that I have seen and created for you to be.
Yeah.
Here it is last. He says that you will be able to strengthen your brother.
Yes.
Did you not know that what we do either helps people or hurt people?
That's right.
Let me say that again.
That's right.
What you do, what you say,
Mm-hmm.
the life you live will either help people
Mm-hmm.
or hurt people.
That's right.
You'll either bless people
Mm-hmm. Or you
or
can.
curse people.
That's right.
You're either going to do right by people or do wrong by people. And there is no right wrong or wrong right. You're either saved or you're lost.
That's right.
You're either a saint or you're a sinner.
Mm-hmm.
And you're either going to heaven
Or hell. That's,
or you're
that's
going to
right.
hell.
That's right.
And we can't sugarcoat it to make a person think just because you come to church and occupy a seat that makes you a child of God.
That's right.
That makes you a Sunday morning participant, but it doesn't make you a child of God.
That's right. That's right.
When you're a child of God, you walk like a child.
Talk like one.
You
Act,
talk like a child.
Act like
You live like a child.
Yes.
And even when I'm under duress and in trouble, I still stand like a child.
Yes.
And I can declare the Lord will make a way.
Yes.
Yes, it will.
That's right.
Somehow.
That's right.
Beneath his wings of love will abide. God will take care of you.
That's right.
Won't he do it?
Yes.
Won't he help you? Won't he build you up when you're torn down? Won't he prop you up on every leaning side? Won't he be a friend that sticks closer than a brother? Won't he be a present help when you're in trouble?
Yes.
It's the sympathy that makes you greater.
Yes, it is.
If you receive that, clap your hands in there.
Amen.